Greetings and welcome to Chant a Day. We are here today on, what is this, Tuesday? Oh my gosh. We are here on a Tuesday. And let's get this. Okay. Yeah, we are here on a Tuesday. So greetings and welcome to Chant a Day. Today's psalm seems to be channeling my dad because it's Psalm 20 and my dad's number is 20. The day of his birth is on the 20th. So when I got up and I saw this psalm, I was pleasantly surprised and happy to see, because it's titled Trust in the Name of our Lord, of the Lord our God. So trusting in the name of our Lord, of the Lord our God, is translated as trust in the name of righteousness, trust in the name of mercy, trust in the name of compassion, trust in the name of kindness, trust in the name of goodness, and trust in the name of long suffering, trust in the name of forgiveness. So this is what we trust in the name in the name in, and in the names of righteousness, mercy, love, and kindness. So I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right, what is kind, what is mercy, what is all of the things I just mentioned as the Most High, as the Almighty One that we serve. And in the day of trouble, everyone has their troubles and everyone has their struggles. And as we struggle and we move forward, we have to stop judging people and putting people in boxes. Oh, you're not a Christian, or you're not a Rasta, or you're not evangelical, or you're not this, or you're not that. What are you? What are you? Try to find and discover yourself and stop trying to label and point people into what you believe they are or not. We are one humanity, and we should look at ourselves in that way and not judge this person and that person, because when you point the finger at one person, three are pointing back at you. So it's important when we look at how we are interacting with each other, okay? And in interacting with each other, we have to be non-judgmental. So I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteous, what is kind and merciful. So I just had to put someone on timeout because they came into my live with judgments. So that's not what this is about. This is not about judging anyone. Because as the psalm says, that's who we need to trust. We trust in the name of righteousness. And that's what we should type and post in our comments. What name of righteousness do you use? Do you use mercy, goodness, compassion? What are the names of righteousness that, springs forth to you? So in verse 1, May may righteousness answer in the day of trouble. Okay? Let righteousness answer all of I and I in the day of trouble. So may the name of righteousness, the righteousness that protected Jacob, the righteousness of Jacob, be protecting I and I, all of I and I. All people use the word you, and you. I use the word I and I. All of I and I is inclusive of that protection. Okay? So it's beginning by starting with the word may. May righteousness answer you. It may not because of your own self, but may righteousness answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of righteousness protect you. Okay? I and I, all of I and I. May righteousness send you strength from the sanctuary, right? And give support from the happy, calm, tranquil place. That place is named heaven, Zion. That, there's names for that place. Ultimately, that place is a place of love and kindness and calmness, and there's no sickness and death, and there's no hell. It's all good and kind. So we see that support is coming from that place. Verse 3, may righteousness remember all offerings of righteousness. Okay, and regard with favor your burnt sacrifices, Selah. So in verse 3, it's also a may. So in verse 1, 2, and 3, we see may righteousness, may the name, may righteousness remember, may righteousness send out strength. Verse 4, it's also may. Verse 5, it's a may. So we have in verse 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the word may begins the psalm. And May 20th is when my dad came to the earth, May 20th. So this is speaking to me, as I go through a situation in my personal life that my dad knew about and said to me to be happy. And I'm happy giving, I'm happy helping, I'm happy to lend a hand to that's me. And I don't regret being a giver. I'm not a fighter. I'm not gonna, fight. I'm a lover. I love love and kindness. So I love to see that. I love to see that happening around me. So this psalm is very special to me because it is as if my dad is speaking to me through the psalm. So in verse 4, it keeps with may. May righteousness grant I and I heart's desire and fulfill all I and I plans. May righteousness shout for joy over I and I future. That it is, and in the name of our righteousness, set up banners. So we see we have this banner of righteousness. We set up the banners. And may righteousness fulfill all I and I petitions. So I petition for love. I petition for people to be honest. And I'm getting that slowly trickling into my life. So verse 1 all the way to 5 has the word may. Now verse 6 verse 6, 7, 8, and 9, well, 6, 7, and 8, because the final verse 9 gives us that ending, that there is a beginning. So verse 6, now I know that righteousness saves. Righteousness is anointed. Those anointed with righteousness, anointed to do good, anointed to be honest, to be forthcoming, to be long-suffering, to be forgiving. Okay? That is that righteousness that saves the anointed will answer I and I from this safe space, the safe space that was mentioned up here in verse 2, that's defined as Zion. It's mentioned in verse 2 with the saving might of the righteousness, right? That righteousness, that's a saving might. So in verse 7, it talks about some trust in their material things, some trust in their horses, their big trucks and rides, they trust in their vehicles, they trust in these things. However, righteousness, the righteous anointed ones, they trust in the name of righteousness. That's what they trust in. Okay? Some trust in chariots and some in horses. And those same ones will collapse and fall. However, the anointed, the righteousness, saves the righteous anointed. That anointed one will rise and stand upright. Okay? While others collapse and fall. So what do you trust in? You trust in righteousness. You trust in mercy, goodness, love, and kindness. That's what you trust in. So in verse 9, it ends the psalm with righteousness is going to save the rulers of the nations. Righteousness. Remember, I always said righteousness is going to exalt a nation. So righteousness is going to save those that are in charge of the nation. And it ends, verse 9, with may. It starts with may, it ends with may. May righteousness answer I and I when I and I call. Okay? May righteousness answer I and I when I and I call. So, verse 9 gives us an ending to begin what we need to do, where we need to be. And in that, we have trust. We need to be in that space of goodness, mercy, love, and kindness. And that is the Psalm 20 today. Psalm 20. Psalm 20, beautiful psalm. And we have the word today. The word today is guidance. Guidance. So guidance, I focus on righteousness as guidance within and leave negativity behind. So in that, focusing on the guidance of righteousness within and leaving negativity behind, it speaks of Myrtle Fillmore's healing letters. This is the Unity co-founder that wrote. This is from dailyword.com, published by unity.org. And the co-founder wrote, by following the teaching of Jesus Christ and seeking guidance of the Most High, the individual does not leave room for negative thought to enter. Health or harmony is the one presence and the power in the universe. So I take these words to heart and notice the ways the noise of daily life crowds out my indwelling guidance. So much information and so many opinions flood my senses. I may lose touch with the still, small voice within that would guide my heart and direct my steps. As I commit to focusing my attention and energy on righteousness, the clamor and confusion of the world begins to fade, and my guidance becomes increasingly clear. That this is righteousness, our righteousness forever and ever. Righteousness will be our guide forever. Psalm 48, verse 14. So I love that because we don't leave room for negative thoughts to enter, okay? By following the teaching of Jesus Christ and seeking guidance of the Most High, we don't have room for negative thoughts. So it's interesting that is the case with some folks. Some folks, negative thoughts enter their mind, or they may feel threatened by someone, or they may feel jealous about someone's relationship, and they're feeling insecure about that. And instead of following the teaching of righteousness that is called Jesus Christ, the teachings of long suffering, the teachings of forgiveness, they err on the negative side, and they become very hostile and in an attack. So this is very important for those out there, because Psalm 48 verse 14 looks at that this is righteousness. This is what God is, and righteousness is forever, is for all time, and will be our eye and eye guide. Righteousness will be eye and eye guide. So that is our psalm, that is our word today, guidance. Guidance is what will keep you in that space. And when we look at the verse today, it's coming from Psalms 119, once again, verse 160. All the words of righteousness are true, and all righteous laws are eternal. So it doesn't end when a righteous person passes away. Righteous laws are eternal. They're always and forever. So that is our verse today. All the words of righteousness are true. And what are those words of righteousness? Compassion, kindness, love, humility, long-suffering, forgiveness. All of that, right, keeps you away from negativity. When you focus on the guidance of righteousness within, you leave negativity outside of you, behind. So it doesn't enter your space. It doesn't enter you. And that's what the verse today is talking about. Verse 160, Psalm 119. And in our psalm today, 20, we trust in that. We trust in the name of righteousness. We trust in the name of righteousness, for that is our God, right? That's our master. That's who we serve. We serve goodness. We err on that side. We don't put people down. We don't accuse people. We speak how people affected us. That's how we speak. And that's truth. That's our truth. As the words of righteousness are true, so what we speak and what we experience and how people treat us is truth. That is our truth that should not be devalued. It shouldn't be devalued. Our truth should be valued. And sometimes our truth may hurt someone because someone doesn't want to see what they've done. And instead of looking at themselves, they blame. They victim blame. So we have to look at the psalm today in unity. Psalm 20, the verse today, and the word today. So the word today about guidance, having righteousness to guide you, that is what the psalm is about, trusting in the name of righteousness. And these names of righteousness are many: long suffering, forgiveness, humility, honesty, integrity, communication, friendship, love, kindness, compassion. These are the names of righteousness. These are the names of what we should trust in. We create gods and lords and Jesus and, Jehovah and Emmanuel and all these different names, when behind that is righteousness and very simple love and kindness. But these divisive words divide us up and cause confusion and war and fighting. So that's why communication is the best tool to use when you are in a disagreement or you are sharing your feelings about what someone made you feel or how someone made you feel. So that is important. And when we get to that, we're going to be a world with love alone. Love alone. So as we outro, I want to thank everyone for joining. I'm going to be going to the Bay. So come with me to the Bay. Subscribe to this channel. And like this video. Subscribe to this channel and like this video. And you'll get to see when I go live. I usually go to the Bay and swim while I'm here during the summertime. So have a blessed day, everyone. And chant a psalm a day. Remember, trust in the name of righteousness. Trust in the name of righteousness, for all the words of righteousness are true and eternal. Remember, guidance. Focus on righteousness' guidance. Focus on righteousness' guidance within and leave negativity behind. Have a blessed day, everyone.